Hello and welcome back to WhiteLinesFootball. Lewis again here today for the second episode of The Club I Love, and today we are joined by our very own Ibs. How you doing, Ibs?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. So, obviously, people have seen the thumbnail, they've seen our videos before, they've seen Ibs' insight, and they'll know you support Arsenal.
Indeed, I do. It's a roller coaster of emotions. It's not necessarily good for my health, definitely not my blood pressure, but it's worth it for those occasional days where you see the most beautiful football in the league. It's just a shame that's not often enough.
The days like the FA Cup final last season.
FA Cup final, start of the last season, especially, well, not the first game, because let's not talk about that. You know, when Arsenal looked like, actually, we're going to win the league, and, you know, you saw when we beat Chelsea 3-0, absolutely out of the park, and, you know, it's so frustrating, you know, seeing where we finished in Europa League, but, you know, we see the quality in the team, and, you know, I love the club. Absolutely love it.
Yes, I suppose fits in with the series title, but nevertheless, we're going to
I didn't even mean that, but yeah, there we go.
We're going to go back to the beginning. How did you start supporting Arsenal? So obviously you're into football then. Why Arsenal?
Do you know, it's weird. It's like my family, me, my brother and my dad, we're all Arsenal fans. I can't really pinpoint an exact moment where it comes from, but ironically, when I started, everyone used to think I was a Man United fan. Back in the day when I started football, down at Cozzington Park, I wore a shirt, and I didn't know if I supported a club, and we didn't have that much money, so my dad gave me a jersey, and it just had just had a number 9 on the front.
Yeah.
And so everyone thought I was like some massive Wayne Rooney fan or something.
Right.
And I don't
think he's ever worn number 9, but
I don't know. People for some reason thought I was a Man United fan, or I was like a Wayne Rooney fan, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
One day, as a gift, my manager gave me a Man United shirt.
Right.
Thinking I was a Man United fan.
Did your manager hate you?
Well, he's an Arsenal fan.
Okay.
And he gave me this Man United because I think someone gave it to him, and then I was like, oh, thank you. And then I took it. I went to my brother, I was like, mate, I just got a Man United shirt. And he was like, why?
Get out.
He was like, what are you doing? And I was like, I don't know, he just gave it to me. He was like, mate, we support Arsenal. I was like, oh yeah. I don't know. I don't know really. I bought I've still got it with me. It's a Arsenal 100 Club DVD. It's got Dennis Bergkamp and Thierry Henry, and you know, I've always looked up to them. Can't pinpoint the exact moment, but it's just always been inside me, and that's always what I've looked to.
So I know sometimes it's harder to get to games. Obviously they're not exactly local, and I mean I know it's just a short train journey, but what was your first Arsenal game?
My first time going to an Arsenal game was an FA Cup match against Bolton. We won 2-1. I don't even think a lot of the many of the main starters were even there. We had Yossi Benayoun playing as well, and that's what I think we had him on loan at that time from Chelsea or something like that. It was actually a really weird match because I didn't go in taking it that seriously. I just really wanted to watch Arsenal play.
Yeah.
Fortunately, we won, and from that day, I wanted to go back again. Everything about it, the atmosphere, the pitch, it was beautiful. And that's back when Arsenal fans didn't hate each other, so it was cool as a kid.
As an Arsenal fan in your life, out of everything that's happened in the club, what's your best memory?
What, of everything in Arsenal?
Yeah, everything Arsenal in your life.
Oh, I'll tell you what. I'm going to say when we won the cup. And that's, maybe it's a personal thing. It's just, you know, it was the first trophy we'd got for absolute years, and it was the first time I could tell my mates, who always roasted me, to silence themselves just for a moment, because as an Arsenal, I think we get more stick than almost anyone. It's because we're expected to win the league all the time. We just never win anything. And then that was the moment we actually got ourselves a trophy finally. And it was a family thing, because me, my dad and my brother watched the FA Cup on TV, and I've never felt so much delight, because it's the first time I've experienced us win a trophy. And that stuck with me ever since.
So do your family as a whole sort of always talking about Arsenal games, that sort of thing?
My brother and I particularly, he does sports journalism as well, so you know, he's always talking about it, and he's always analysing, and my dad's like a casual fan, but he is very opinionated, and there are people who he absolutely loves and people he hates. Our biggest joke is Koscielny within the family. My dad just loves Koscielny. Every single time my dad has ever watched, Koscielny slides in and gets a yellow card, and my dad loves it. He dies of laughter. He says when Koscielny gets the ball, even if Koscielny's like got the ball and we're passing around, he goes, "Don't get a yellow card," and it's just so funny. My dad's a 78-year-old man who just is always just cooking and cleaning, and then he just comes and he just starts roasting people, and it's the funniest thing I've ever seen, and it's wonderful.
Arsenal have reportedly been offered Rafinha.
30 million euros.
Yeah, we'll see where that goes.
He didn't travel with the club for pre-season. He's a versatile midfielder. It's a tricky one. Like, I personally would accept him. I wouldn't accept him for much more than 30 million euros. We'd probably end up having to pay about 30 million pounds because they want in excess of 30 million euros. I mean, I would accept him purely because we just need someone with quality. And I think when you come from, if you've been at Barcelona, you're obviously good. Even if you didn't play that much, if you've been at Barcelona, you're obviously very good. I've no doubt his passing's going to be crisp, his footwork's going to be good. And it's important that he's versatile because we need boys who are going up and down in the middle, particularly in the Premier League. Because I just don't think we really have it. We've got Ozil, but people question if he actually uses his fitness and his running actually to good use. We've got Ramsey, but he's extremely inconsistent. Xhaka, same problem. Coquelin, same problem. So we do need someone who is solid in the middle. I don't know if Rafinha is that world-class person we need, but he is an option. But for the money they want for us, we can probably spend a little bit more and get someone, noticeably better, potentially. So, I would accept him, but, I'm not, this isn't world, record breaking, anything like that.
Yeah. I know you would have been very, very young, but are you old enough to remember the Invincible season? I'm assuming you've definitely looked back on it.
I wasn't really following it well enough. I must have been like 7 or something like that. Of course, the amount of times I've looked back on it is just literally endless. And it's one of those reasons I feel proud to be Arsenal, because when the Premier League said about the best club in their history, the only golden Premier League in existence, and it went to Arsenal. And back then when we had Bergkamp and Henry and all those boys, and it was I've looked back and I've just thought why have we not got that again? Like, that is
and those world class sort of names.
People, it's those names when you look at it and you see every from the front to the back. You didn't have boys. Like, actually, no, I'm going to leave that. You didn't have boys, full stop.
You had men.
You had absolute men. You didn't have anyone who pussyfooted it. These were boys who went in committed, and we went up against teams like United, and we took that game by the scruff of the neck. And those guys would fight. I tell you, those guys would fight. I think it was Sol Campbell, who said it, and he said it quite bluntly, but that was the whole point, which is they went out there and they wanted to win. And he laughed and he was like, no, I mean it absolutely like that. He said the only reason we're out there was not to get a decent result, try out my fitness, see if there's any young boys and go out there. They went out there to win. If you weren't good enough to be on the front line, you're on the bench or you're not in the squad. The best boys were out there, and that is the attitude that needs to return to Arsenal. I've looked back on that and it fills me with such pride, but then shame almost, or embarrassment rather is a better word to say. It's just, look at the current squad, and we've only really got like 2 players maybe. Obviously the main one would of course be Alexis, but then after that you look back and you go, it's just, I think the culture's changed, and I think we need something new now.
I mean, even I know Kolo Touré. I mean, I know he didn't necessarily play that much.
Here's a great one. Do you know the story about Kolo Touré when he
about when he was on trial at Arsenal?
Trial. For those of you guys don't know, Kolo Touré comes along and they're like, oh great, he's right. So they're like, okay, Kolo, just want to see what you can do. Just try it out. Test it out. Just don't go easy on the boys. We've got a big game coming up, so just test them a little bit, see what they can do. First thing he does, bang, slide tackle, injures. I can't remember who it was that one of the boys in the first team. Takes him out. He's now injured on the floor. They go, Kolo, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, sorry, boss. Sorry. Sorry, boss. Okay, and they're like, okay, look, just take it easy now. Just go out there. Next thing he does is Thierry Henry gets the ball. All of a sudden, bang, Kolo Touré in 2-foot tackle. Thierry Henry's on the floor rolling around. All the boys thinking, oh my God, what are we doing? We've got a massive game coming up. And this kid has just taken out our goal scorer. Like, what are we doing? And we're like, Kolo, what are you doing, man? Take it easy. He's like, oh, sorry, boss, sorry. So give me a minute. Next thing you know, ball goes off, or he's going out. And Wenger takes a touch. What does Kolo do? Bang! 2 foots the manager. Well, I don't know if it was 2 foot, but he takes out the manager. The manager's on the floor, and everyone's thinking, Kolo, what are you doing? You've taken out 2 of our main players. One of them's the goal scorer. You've taken out the manager. What are we gonna do now? Everyone's thinking, oh my, Kolo Touré is now a mess. He's a wreck. He's like, oh my God, this is my breakthrough. This is my opportunity. I'm so sorry. Later on, whoever it was goes over to the medical centre and sees Wenger, and he's sitting there and he's got a massive lump and like an ice pack, and he goes up to him and goes, what are we going to do about him? How do we tell him we've got to get rid of this guy? He's a maniac. And he goes, no, I like his fight, let's sign him up. And there you go.
Yeah, I mean, even watching him in his later years at Liverpool, you could tell how he was a sort of body on the line sort of defender. But you say you're sort of comparing those players to your current squad. We're going to move on to the current squad. You mentioned Koscielny briefly. He's a player that sort of divides opinion, and I wanted to know what your opinion was as an Arsenal fan of Koscielny. Sort of, obviously, your dad really likes him. I'm not the biggest fan of him. I spoke about that before, but what do you make of Laurent Koscielny?
He's a guy at the moment who's underperforming. So, I think 2 seasons back, I personally thought he was really good. I thought he was brilliant. I think he didn't have the right boys around him, but I thought I see this guy as a potential leader. I think he's got the brain for it, and he's someone who's never given less than 100%. And he's got the fight in him. He's tenacious. He's strong. He's not the quickest, but by no means is he slow. He does the job, and he's willing to do the rough stuff. But I think in the past, season and a half, I think he's just kind of lost his way a little bit. I think he knows he's not performing the best. His reading of the game's not as good. He's not been controlling that back line like they used to. I remember a story of how Arsenal, the old back four, is when they were training them, they would tie all the back four together with rope. They couldn't go wandering.
Yeah.
These days, you don't see that. You see Bellerin going loose, getting exposed. You see people on the left, on the right. You see Gabriel doing the crappiest tackles you ever see in your life. And then we're playing with 3 at the back, and the equivalent of basically 2, because he just does the worst tackles. And, Koscielny's got to be that man who's got to control it, and he just hasn't been doing it at the moment. On those days when we are at our absolute best, he does that, but it's just not often enough. And it's a real shame, because I believe in the kid. I believe in the guy, know. I just think he's underperforming at the moment. I think he just needs the right people around him to remind him that, what he wants to have done can be done, and it'll be at a strong standard. And I think, time will tell again, potentially this season. I think if he doesn't perform well enough this season, we've got to look elsewhere.
He obviously is looked to the main guy in the defence. I mean,
absolutely.
Hopefully he can form that partnership with Mustafi.
Yeah,
both of them
particularly Mustafi. Now we've got, Rob Holding as well. They've got to have that understanding together, and they have to have the same mindset. And that's something Koscielny needs to clamp down.
Obviously, he does sort of hit and miss, that sort of thing. But like you say, the squad is underperforming, and hopefully he can come through. We're not going to talk about Lacazette, because obviously you've done a separate video on that. So
link in the description.
Link in the description for that. There we go. I'm going to ask you about the main man, Alexis Sanchez. What do you make of him?
What do you need to say about him? Nothing that I would say that hasn't been said already. He's tenacious. He's got the fight. He's a warrior. He's potentially a leader. But he's childish, man. Honestly, he knows the ball's in his court kind of thing. He knows he's only got a season and then he's out of here kind of thing if he wants to be. Some people saying he's doing a Van Persie, but I disagree, because Van Persie wasn't getting trophies at all, for starters, and he wanted to go to United, and then he acted like a idiot about it. It's one of those things. Probably don't talk about that guy. Anyways, back to Sanchez. The thing with Sanchez, he hasn't felt that the people around him are the right people.
Yeah, he's definitely sort of levels above, and he's the best player you've seen there for a while.
He is absolutely a cut above, full stop. But that's the thing, which is, when we were playing well, he went, these are the boys, these are the guys, and you saw the smile on his face every single game. Every single time we went out there, we'd grind out a win if we had to do it, and he was willing to do it, and he knew the boys around him were there for it. And then the results started to go a little bit wayward, and then he kept plugging at it, but the boys around him didn't. And I sympathise with him so much for that. Even though it annoys me so much with the way he's dealing with this contract thing. He's literally teasing people. He's taking the mick. He's taking the absolute mick, and it's stupid. But you know what? I sympathise with him nonetheless, because I feel like he can do better. Everyone knows he can absolutely do better. But Arsenal have to prove to him that we value what he does. The fact that we've just bought Lacazette and so on, and we've got Kolasinac, and we want to get more people in the midfield as well. I think Alexis knows he's got to have self-respect for himself, but he's got to make sure that respect is translated from the people that employ him as well, and that work next to him as well. He's got to make sure that if we're bringing in players, they've got the same mentality that he has. He wants to be at a club that's winning titles, winning championships, getting those trophies, getting that silverware, getting those results, grinding out on the good days or the bad days. Even if you have a bad game, you still get the W. And he needs to know and feel that culture's there. And at the moment, Arsenal haven't really had that. So I sympathise for the way he's, how he's felt. I just don't think he's reacting like a man, and that is really painful.
Obviously, you said he's got 1 year left on his deal. Would you rather risk losing him for free next summer? Try and push on this year with him, or would you rather sell him off for, say, maybe 50 million this summer?
If we went for 50 million, I'd still think we didn't get enough out of him.
Even with a year left?
Yeah, I know. Look, I know when you only have 1 year, you're heavily devalued, because after one season you're literally free. I admire Arsenal, the way they're doing things. I admire it. I saw Arsenal fan TV talking about it, and Robbie's saying, you know, I admire how they've clamped their foot down and said no, they're not going. You know, they're going up to the end. They're really putting their neck on the line, because at the end of the day, they may walk out. I agree with that, but it's you're in very deep waters playing like you're playing with sharks with that, and 100%. Alexis is a shark. He's a predator, that guy. So he'll do his thing. Do you know what? Honestly, I think I would keep him for that one season and risk him going, because
I'd agree.
As a fan, I say, if after one more season, Arsenal have not showed that we genuinely have the battle for a trophy, that guy deserves to go.
Yeah.
Because he deserves somewhere better. Because we do not deserve a guy like that. So now we've got Lacazette, now we've got Kolasinac, we need someone in the middle as well. If we go out there, and even if we take second, and I want to make it out, I do not want second. Second is first of the losers as far as I'm concerned. But even if we go second and we just about miss out, even though Sanchez would hate it, it would show, look, this is us fighting, only if it's really close. Like, if we just lose out, then it's not good enough, but at least Sanchez will feel, you know what, this is the place. Because we've just gone from 5th to 2nd. We know this is, next season, we're potentially favourites. Like, we've got to have it in us. And, we've got to win something next season. I'm saying now, I'm calling it now. We win a trophy next season, and we do well in the Premier League, Sanchez stays. I'm calling it now. Yeah. But it fully depends on how we perform. Now, since Alexis Sanchez again knows the ball's in his court, I think Wenger will be desperate, and I mean desperate, to have the best possible season, because he knows that the future of Arsenal potentially may hold in that man. I think we're doing the right thing, trying to hold him out for the season. Now we've got to prove that we deserve to keep him. Yeah,
it definitely is. He's such a key player for you guys. I agree with you that it's so vital that you do keep him this season and just try and push on. But obviously, we can't end this video without talking a little bit about the man, Arsene Wenger. See a lot of talk about him prior to him signing his new deal, about whether he'd stay on. Obviously, you made your own separate video on that as well. But how are you feeling now, a few weeks on, going into the new season with Wenger in charge? What are you thinking?
Surprisingly enough, I feel good. Honestly, I really do. When the 2-year deal came out, I said, I wish it was just for 1 year maybe, or maybe even not at all, so he could leave on a high, or at least say, look, we're still testing you out, seeing if you still really got it. But you know what? The way he's dealt with the transfers, we've got 2 massive signings, and we've done it early. Yeah,
I feel like he sort of proved himself that he didn't need a director of football.
He's showed that when he's got the desire, and he still has the desire, he can start pulling the strings how he wants it. 2 big signings, good money, nice and early. We've got more space to play with, and he's putting his foot down with the people around us. He's dealing with his personnel as best he can. He can't control what Oxlade's going to do, really. He can't really control what Ozil's going to do. Pretty certain now Ozil's going to stay, but we can't control what Alexis is going to do. At the end of the day, he didn't deal with it well enough, but now he's putting himself out, and he's showing that, you know what, I'm going to take responsibility here. I'm going to be the big man, and I'm going to show that I've got it in me. And the way he's treating the players, the way he kept messaging Lacazette, went out to France. Obviously, it's not like as if France is a foreign town for him, is it? He's French after all. But he went out there and he actively did his job. He actively got himself involved. He took a personal approach to these players, and even Mbappe apparently, reportedly, we've been messaging and speaking. And
illegally.
Huh? Illegally. Well, no, not for Arsenal. That's been City and someone else. The way he's done it has been the right way. But it's clear that he's making his personal touch shown. Wenger has done. He's got
the respect. He can do that. He's got the respect, of who he is.
And he's done things the right way. We're going to come back to this at the end of the season, and it's probably Arsenal going to finish 9th or something. I'm saying he should have gone ages ago. Can't knock him for how he's reacted in this transfer window. That's probably his biggest criticism, on top of not winning the Premier League. Is your transfers are shocking, absolutely shocking the way you react. But this time around, I think the pressure got to him, and he's actually decided, you know what, I'm going to react to it well. So, I think I'm happy with him.
So right now, are you Wenger in or Wenger out?
Wenger in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So overall this season, what are the short-term and long-term aspirations of the club? Try and get back in the Champions League. Do you want first?
Simplest way I can say is we want the Premier League. Because if we get the Premier League, we get Champions League, obviously. Champions League should have been a must. This season, I believe strongly, was a one-off. I think we let ourselves go so badly. Can't see that happening again. I know the teams around us are, gaining in strength as well, but I think so are Arsenal. More than others even. I don't think Tottenham are going to have the same season, personally. I don't think Liverpool will have the same season. City, Chelsea and United, again, are going to be the people to worry about. And then there's Arsenal, and I think Arsenal will do the right thing to get themselves in their names. Champions League's got to be a must. But I think Premier League is that short-term thing that we have to get. But even long-term, these signings, these have to be long-term things. We can't do short-term fixes for these things.
Do you want to be competing more in the Champions League rather than just losing in the last 16 for the last however many years?
You got to remember, Arsenal is an absolutely massive club.
Mm-hmm.
We are huge. We're international. We are global. We should not be saying Premier League or Champions League. No. Liverpool won the treble once. They won the treble. And they're not even the size of... They're not the size of Arsenal. I don't care what you say. They're not the size of Arsenal.
That's very debatable, but okay.
I'm saying that I don't think they're the size of Arsenal as far as I'm concerned. We have to be that team that gets the culture back, that whatever trophy we go for, FA Cup, BPL, Champions League, we have to be that club that go, yeah, we can put a squad out there that is good enough to beat anyone, because we have to be tenacious. We have to go look at like City and Chelsea that have boys on the bench that are itching to go. And if they get an injury, they've got a boy on the bench who's ready to go out there and prove himself immediately. Not like he's a replacement, but he's not the same. As a no. He goes out there and you don't lose any quality whatsoever. We need a squad. They start on the bench. The moment they come on, they're ready to beat anyone they come up against. That's what Arsenal needs, and that is a long-term thing. That won't happen over 1 or 2 transfer windows. It'll take its time, but that's where Arsenal have to get themselves back to. That is what the fans deserve after all the crap we've had to go through, as far as I'm concerned. And that's what Wenger, he kind of has to do to give himself a bit more respect. He's got the legacy, but he's not the man so far it seems like he's not the man he once was, even though he's proven himself again, I think.
One final question I have for you. Are you Arsenal until you die?
Arsenal until I die. Arsenal until I die, man.
Nice one. So, thank you very much for this interview. Obviously,
thank you for having me on.
I don't know why I'm saying this because you're on the channel regularly, but thank you very much.
It's been my pleasure. By the way, I'm just going to quickly throw it out there. I run an F1 channel, WhiteLinesFootball, so link in the description.
That channel's becoming more and more active lately. Some very tense races going on. But yeah, be sure to check that out. Be sure to follow everything in the description. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
See you later.